purpose of my speech is to inform my audience about the negative effects of divorce and the importance of trying to avoid divorce. Divorce is a social problem that prevents people from experiencing life as God according to Scripture means it to be experienced. According to the CDC.gov, approximately 877,000 people in 2011 had divorces and annulments. This is a very big number. I'm going to pass out a visual aid right now that basically shows the percentage of divorce that occurred in the last 10 years. We all know at least one family that has been affected negatively by divorce. Is there something we can do about this? I'm not a divorce court lawyer or child social worker, but I did do a lot of research on this topic, and I'd like to share with you guys a little bit about what I learned. Divorce is a decision that has lifelong effects on many people, not just the spouses involved. God never intended them to experience these negative effects. So who does it affect? It affects the parents, it affects their children, and it affects society as a whole. How does it affect the parents? Well, it's expensive. Why is it expensive? First of all, the cost of having lawyers makes it expensive, and also if there's other things like psychiatric evaluations because of getting custody over the children is a battle, things like that might cause it to be more expensive. And just in general, it takes away financial blessings. It also causes unwanted emotions, like stress. If you ask anyone that's going through a divorce how they're feeling, probably the number one word that will come out of their mouth is stress. It might also cause depression, and they might not experience this until years later, but it's something that they can experience even in the beginning of the divorce. They also might be angry. It's another emotion that they might experience. And also they might experience what I call false happiness. They might think they're happy and say, finally I'm free from this person or this situation I was in, but years later they might actually feel bad about saying that, and they might realize they weren't really happy at the time. And then also it's been proven that they're a little bit more unhealthy. People that are divorced are more likely to have serious illnesses, according to Gallagher and Waite, an article I read. And also, the largest population of heavy drinkers are people that are divorced. So that's important to consider. So now that was a little bit about how divorce affects the spouses. I'm going to talk a little bit about how divorce affects their children. It also affects them emotionally. The child might be guilty. They might bring home a report card that they were failing their grades and show their parents, and a couple days later the parents announce that they're getting a divorce, and the child might feel or think that they caused the divorce. That's important because they might not realize until years later that it's not their fault that the parents got a divorce. Also, it's proven that children that are going through a divorce have lower academic achievement. Probably a part of it is probably because there's a lot going on in their personal life. Also, there's less consistent discipline. If the person that doesn't have custody over the child, if they see them as well as the person that does, and both parents have a different view on life about how to discipline their children, they're going to get, sometimes they might get opposite reactions, and that kind of can confuse children, especially at a young age, and that will affect how they might view discipline even as they get older. It also, some long-term effects, it can cause progressive distancing by the non-custodial parent. So, that occurs a lot. As years go on, the parent becomes less involved in the child's life. Also, they might become depressed, just like their parents, and they might have poorer health. And also, it's been proven that they're more likely to be divorced when they get older. I just wanted to share quickly about an example of a friend I know that her parents went through a divorce, and I know she even has some issues herself, and even self-concept and self-image issues. And I truly believe that it's based a lot on her parents' divorce that occurred when she was a younger child. Finally, divorce affects society. The strength of society is based on the strength of our families. So if For example, if the children are acting out, if they're crying, if they have a lot of crime, then this is basically how society will mirror it. Crime will go up, and also if the parents are becoming alcoholics, the percentage of alcoholics in society will go up as well. So in conclusion, the purpose of this speech was to offer evidence for the serious consequences divorce may have on spouses, their children, and society as a whole. People in society today take divorce so lightly, for example, with all the celebrities. But we need to help people see that it has real consequences, and God never intended us to experience these consequences. What could we do if we know a family is getting a divorce or considering a divorce? First of all, we could pray. We could also actively listen, and also we could offer other options like counseling. Even though divorce affects both parents and society, the children should be highly regarded because they're the future of our society. James Dobson, an author and psychologist, stated, "Children are not casual guests in our home. They have been loaned to us temporarily for the purpose of loving them and instilling a foundation of values in which their future lives will be built." We must remember this when we talk about divorce. Thank you.